So one of the things a lot of people suffer from during perimenopause is sleep deprivation. They're waking up in the middle of the night, or they can't get to sleep. So they suddenly struggle with insomnia, something maybe they haven't struggled with before. And we all know when we're struggling to sleep, everything else fails to function as well. So we may struggle more with brain fog. We may struggle more with our mood swings. We may feel in a lower mood. We may experience pain in our joints, etc. Much, much more. All of these things that we get from perimenopause can be worse if we don't sleep. One of the triggers for poor sleep can be our diet, because if we're spiking our sugars and then dropping our sugars, what's happening is in the middle of the night, it might be that we've had a sugar high just before we've gone to bed, and then what the body then does is work to reduce that sugar, but it overcompensates. So it's like a big wave. The sugar level goes up, the body compensates, the sugar level comes right down. At this point, when it's at its lowest, the body goes, oh, hang on a minute, I've not got enough sugar in my body. I need to spike some more sugar. So it releases cortisol, which of course is the stress hormone that wakes us up. So if you're waking in the middle of the night and you've got no idea why, the first suggestion would be that you need to look at your simple carbohydrates, refined carbs that you're eating, and when you're eating them, to look at whether you're getting a sugar low that's causing that spike in cortisol. That's a good starting point. The other thing that can trigger keeping people awake is night sweats, and those can wake you up. So think really carefully about the environment of the room and the bedclothes and anything you're wearing, and avoid things that are going to make sweat more. So avoid clothes, use cotton and things like that, natural fibers as opposed to non-natural fibers. Have good airflow through your room. Keep the temperature in the room lower if you can, and don't have really heavy bedding on the bed. Make it easier for you to move so you can fling your arms and legs out of the bed. And your body will do that naturally while you're asleep, if it can. But the main thing to do is to look at your sleep hygiene, routines around what you do before you go to bed, the time you go to bed, and what you do in the morning, getting up in the morning, and those routines are really, really important, because the body likes routines. And when it gets out of kilter, it really struggles. So you need to keep to those routines. And once you've kept to those routines for a while, the body will go, oh, at this time I go to sleep. And also, if it's in the summer, make sure your bedroom is dark, because that's a trigger for our brains to calm down. If we're on our screens until we go to bed, our brain is thinking, oh, it's daylight, I'm still awake. So we have to have, it's much easier to sleep if you're in a dark space. One of the other things that can really happen to women at this stage is they start snoring. And if you think that if you're waking up thinking that you can't breathe, then I would go and get your snoring assessed, because it could mean that you've actually got breathing difficulty at night, that is that potentially you're stopping breathing, and that's what's waking you up, because your body will go, no, I need to wake up to make myself breathe again. So just look at those things. But it's really common because, again, it's to do with the hormone imbalance in the brain. So the brain is slightly out of kilter. So the signals it normally sends to everywhere to go to sleep don't happen. So you've just got to get into routines to make the brain comfortable again.